Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to set up a ledger in Oracle Fusion applications, and we are going to do the chart of accounts through the spreadsheet, and we're going to do the rest of it all manually. This is why I'm calling it Oracle GL done semi-manually, because the chart we're going to actually load up. The chart will load up. All the value sets will be there. All the hierarchies will be there. So all the goodies will be there relating to the chart of accounts. It'll be deployed, etc. So the chart will be taken care of. The next thing we have to do is set up the calendar. We have to create a legal address, create a legal entity. We'll create the ledger. We'll do the ledger options. We'll assign the legislative data group to the legal entity. We'll assign the BSV, the balancing segment, to the legal entity. We'll assign the legal entity to the ledger. We'll run the review and submit accounting configuration process. We'll assign the new data set to the user. We'll open the period. We'll enter a sample journal entry. We'll post it and we'll wrap it up. So let's get after it. Okay, so I have the Rapid GL spreadsheet open, and I am going to use it to just load up the chart of accounts. Now I have a full video on this, very short video, but it shows you exactly how to download it and how to complete it. But I'm just going to go over the details of this one. I have shortened the name so the value sets are nice and crisp. I have 4 segments up in here. Over here we have no business units. We have a companies, a super co, company structure, natural accounts, all parented out with all the account types, details, all the parents all the way down. And there's about 300 good, again, this is not a video on the chart, but there's 340 something accounts with parents and the whole thing. So it's all detailed out on the natural accounts, cost centers, interco. Now there's ways to upload value sets, etc. But this is a beautiful way to get a structure, a chart of account structure in place and do any adaptations you need to it once it's up and loaded. So right now, I'm going to do validate. Should work because it's already been proven to work. I'm going to say no, that's the reporting. Right now I'm going to generate the chart of accounts file, and I am going to name that over here a super co COA. Okay, and that is done. All right, so that, save that. Let's close it. Okay, I found it. It was on the other screen. It's right there, a superco zip. Next up, we're going to load that into Fusion using the rapid process. Let's go. Setup and maintenance. Search. Put in rapid. Search. Financials. Chart of accounts. Let's go find the file. It's on the desktop. Let's grab it. Open it. Put a little tag on there to track it. Submit. In here, just keep tracking to make sure that it finishes. I'm going to speed this part up. And succeeded all of them. Let's go now back and we will take a look at the structures. I'm not going to look at the whole thing today. There's a whole video on this if you want to check it out, but let's look at the structure that just got loaded. I will leave a link to the video on uploading the chart. And there is the chart. Let's take a look at one of the segments. You can see the value set. You can see the labels, etc. All good. Okay. Let's now go over and do accounting calendar. There's some of that's out in the system. Let's go make our own. Let's give it a name. I'm going to make it 13 periods. Give it a description. Give it a start date. I'm going to make it January 1st, 2002. All of this stuff is standard. All looks good. And here you can see the different ones. One at the year end. And there they are. I'm going to adjust the name of the adjusting to just ADJ 22. All right, review, save it. Add a year so we can get 2023. Same thing. I'm going to go down here, make this ADJ 23. Adjusting period set. Save it, save and close. And all good. Got a calendar. Now, let's go up to legal structures. Let's do a legal address. Right, just add one right here. Super easy. Put in your address. Put in the city. Fill in that. Choose your data. Put in the zip code. Say OK. Go upstairs. Save it. Save and close. Got an address. Let's do the legal entity. Again, super simple. I'm going to say create new. Apply and continue. There's all the ones that are out there. Let's do plus for add. Let's give it a name. A Superco LLC. Let's give it that address we created. Say OK. Let's give it a tax ID number. Any number here. Obviously, you would use the correct one. I'm going to paste that down. And then I'm going to check these two boxes so that employees can be hired to this LE. Most importantly, that we can assign a buyer if we wanted to. Now I'm going over to General Ledger and I'm going to create a ledger. Again, very simple, super simple, a bit different than EBS because we just put in the basic information to create the ledger. Define the chart of accounts, calendar we created, currencies USD, standard accrual, save and close. Now we're going to do the ledger options, specify ledger options. Here we have to select the ledger. For scope, and let's identify it. There it is. Notice it's not green. It's not finished yet. Let's go downstairs so we can save and close to select the scope. And there she is. All right, notice chart of accounts, first period, fiscal year. We can change the name, update it if we wish. Here we're going to select the journal language. So I'm going to do search, in this case US, American English, all set. And what you're going to generally notice here is a lot of options that you come in here and fill in later. Okay, whether you're going to do approvals, all of this stuff you can fill in later, sequencing, etc., etc. But we do need a retained earnings account, so we'll go ahead and fill that in. Okay, and 4 more zeros. Select and go. Okay, we got our retained earnings. Again, cumulative translation, if we were going to do different currencies, period ends. If they're not in the system, of course, you need to add them. So that's all good. So you got your ledger options ready. Next up, let us do the HCM, the LDG. All right, so there's a bunch of human resource payroll information for this particular screen. What we really need is this to be set so that we can assign persons to this legal entity. And I'm going to choose US and the US Legislative Data Group, your LDG. Submit. And again, notice all the different state information for the US, etc. Okay, all good. Close that down. And we will go back to general ledger, all tasks. And now we want to assign. Now I did this, in essence, I described it in the beginning in reverse, but we're going to assign the legal entity to the ledger first. And done. And we'll save and close. We'll go back in. And this time we'll actually assign the balancing segment value of 1021. Save and close. And now it is assigned. Well, good. Next up is to review and submit accounting process. Go ahead and submit it. Say OK. And now we'll go over to the processes and track it. Now, this takes generally a good bit of time in this vision instance. So I will speed this part up. So just go ahead and refresh a couple of times and you'll notice it finally, once it's all set to succeeded as it is now, it's all done. Everything succeeded, so no errors. Okay, so we'll close out of here, go all the way back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to log out and then log back in, just a habit. I'm back in. Now we can go set the data access. So let's go upstairs, put data access for users. There we go. And then select data access for users. I'm going to choose Bob Adams. The role is general accountant, data access set, and we'll go search for the ledger, AC, and there she is. Say OK, save and close. Close out of that. And now we'll go all the way back to the general accounting. Let's go to period, close. Make sure that the ledger is the right ledger. Choose January 22, ledger is the right ledger, it is. And it's going to ask you if you want to open the first period. You say OK, and then you say OK again. And then you can go over here to the bottom, refresh, and then you'll see open and then future for February. All right, now let's go over to journals, create journal, and we will enter a journal. Say B1, batch 1, journal 1. You can fill in a description, etc. Let's go choose, say, adjusting. All good. Check the date, right ledger. Let's put in the account. I'm just going to put this to common stock, all zeros. And then I'm going to copy and paste and then change the account to the cash account. I'm going to put in $1 million and $1 million. Take a review and save it and post it. It's posted. Let's exit out of here, go back. Let's go to manage journals. Right period is January 22. Let's search it up. There it is. Let's go inside, examine it. Notice what you have, your journal options, your batch options. Cancel out of that. All the way back to the beginning. And that's all that's to it, folks. A full-blown ledger in no time. So that's going to do it for this one, folks. If you found the information useful, why not consider using the subscribe button like a bookmark, so you can have easy access to the information without having to search for it when you need it. I really hope you enjoyed your visit today, and I will catch you in the next one.